Welcome to the world of Dawinder Bansal. Hello everyone and welcome to Jambo Cinema. My name is Dawinder Bansal and follow me into my recreation of a 1980s Kenyan Indian living room. And in here we've got various items that we all remember from the 1980s, including these teacups that no one was allowed to drink out of unless you're a special guest, and maybe not even then. The biscuits, the tissue box, the newspapers of the time, and all photographs, family photographs, sitting around on a Sunday, all eating together before Sunday trading ruined family time. And then a picture of my dad there during when he used to work at Bushy Steel. My actual Kylie and Jason record, and the reason why I know it's mine is because I put my name on it. And of course the sewing machine.
God, yes.
Most Asian households had a sewing machine where positioned very nicely and carefully to look at the television sets, to watch the Indian films while looking after the kids and also sewing outfits. So this is the recreation, and this is a moment in time where I've kind of frozen it during the 1980s, in my life anyway. And yeah, it's very special to invite people in to the mailbox to come and sit down with me, have a biscuit, have a bit of a chat, talk about old times, and for young people to learn something new.
It's almost like a step back in time. So did you always knew that you were going to get this exhibition on? Had you collected all this memorabilia that this would happen one day?
So I started working on this project in 2016, and I had the idea because I was working as an immersive theatre producer at the time, and I thought to myself, actually, you know, so many organisations are doing these projects about the Asian community, but they're not right, and they're inaccurate, and they get names wrong, and they get locations wrong, religion wrong, lots of different details wrong. And I started looking through my late father's briefcase about 2015, and I was asking myself questions about my identity, my heritage. I was Kenyan, I was Indian, I was British, I was Asian, second generation in Britain. And then through this briefcase, I saw all these items, and I thought it was my dad's dream to come to this country and to make something for himself and for us. And we used to have a Bollywood rental shop. It was half of it was an electrical shop, and half of it was a Bollywood rental shop in the 80s. Yeah. And after he died, everything was put away into boxes, and it was kept in storage in the garage. Because, I mean, at the time, these were things that we were holding on to, because I think sometimes when people pass away, we hold on to their things because we're holding on to them. And so 30 years later, I unboxed all these things, and I thought, hang on, I've got my own story to tell here. I'm telling other people's stories, and I want to tell mine.
Okay, tell me something.
Well, this would have been the living room that had the lock on it. The kids weren't allowed into.
Yes, the gundi.
It was the best room in the house that not everyone was allowed into, especially not the kids. The kids are in the back room.
Yeah, and also looking around, you got pictures of Elvis there. And that was like almost every household had a mirror Elvis picture as well.
Did you have one as well?
We had one, yes, as well. And obviously religion is a huge thing.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got Guru Nanak Dev Ji's pictures and the Golden Temple pictures as well.
We had a jigsaw puzzle actually.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and the jigsaw puzzle, it was massive. Then one piece from the top fell. It slid down the frame, and then everyone was like, who could be bothered to undo this and put it back? So it just got left for years.
Okay. I was looking at you introduced us to the tapes and the wardrobe that you've got there. Tell us a little bit about, because almost every household had identical sort of one of those showcases, I think they were called. Showpiece, what they were, showcase, yeah. And only privileged photos got into there.
Well, I think at some point everything made it in there. It was like, oh, this looks nice, we'll just put this in there. So lots of little knickknacks and things like that. But then also, you know, can you see the airmail letter? There's
the
an
blue,
airmail,
yes,
there's an airmail letter in there. So everything kind of references that period in time, including like some things in here are like Kenyan Indian, like that clock, like the wooden little animals, the Maasai warriors, the drum over there, which is, I think it's a cow skin drum actually.
Right.
But yeah, all of these things are very Kenyan. But I mean, red was a big thing.
Yeah.
It was a really big thing in our household.
Dawinder, did you ever feel divided between Kenya, India, England? Did you ever
Yes.
think about that divide, or did you? I mean, how did you deal with?
Well, I first
those-
realised I was a bit different from my other Punjabi friends when
Hmm.
I was asking for an iron at my friend's house.
Oh.
And I went to her house and she said, go and get the iron from my dad. And I asked him for a bossy. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, can I have the iron? He said, bossy. And he said, no, this is the press. You don't know how to speak Punjabi properly. I went home and told my mum, and she was like, it's because you're speaking Swahili.
Oh, okay.
Those are Swahili words. And so I think there was some difference between, you know.
So there was
Indian,
just word for the iron. There's a press.
Yeah, you call it breast.
Press.
Yeah,
It's a Punjabi way. You called it basi.
Basi.
But the correct word in English was the iron.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
exactly.
Okay,
Should
sure.
we go into the bedroom because it's another domestic space? So come on, follow me. Follow me into my teenage bedroom of the 1980s,
Ah.
complete with Smash Hits magazines. Smash Hits magazines. My actual record of achievement, school report, and we're not going to go into that right now. And this here is really a bedroom, which is a clash of cultures, and we've got posters about the bands of that time, particularly Azad, one of my cousins, Parminder, has kindly given me some of these posters. And the Sahotas are from Wolverhampton, Azad is from Wolverhampton, so I had to get that story in there. But also, for me, I was growing up with really liking the Bros twins and Michael Hutchins and George Michael, so this is really a mix of all of that time, and this Gumball, who couldn't forget? Lots of people have still got this Gumball, by the way.
We have.
So this is really representative of being British, being Asian, being a young girl growing up during that time. And even when I talk about these posters over here, the Bungalow posters, there are reference points to the daytime scene that many of us can remember of a certain generation and a certain time, where nightclubs would get taken over during the day, and you'd get lots of teenagers going in and having a good time during the day on a Friday afternoon normally.
Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday afternoon? You sound like you know, so you used to go to that's the original shop sign there. And on the left hand side, that's the first shop that we had. And then underneath it is my late father's certificate for when he passed his electrical contracting.
Oh, wow.
And that actually was the profitable side of the business, which is what I
Right. So what
gained
point did
to realise.
the shop came about then?
In the 1970s, late 1970s, my father got made redundant from British Steel, and then thought, what should I do? I'm approaching my 40s now, and instead of going to work for somebody else, should I take control of my own destiny, which is what a lot of people did, a lot of Asian people, and I set up these businesses. And this is an exhibition. It's about family, it's about home, it's about connection, community. It's also about celebrating the enterprising nature of the Asian community and what they achieved collectively during that time, and actually pumped a lot of money into the economy. And that's a largely hidden story, I would say.
So tell us about the video. Obviously, it's surrounded by Indian cinema.
Yes.
So tell us about the experience of all the video films you've got in the back, and you're.
I mean, it was a central part of the business, and it was a central part of many businesses that had video shops, because the tapes were very expensive and the demand was high, and people would want the film. They'd be like, oh, this film's out, I want it. And instead of trying to, let your customers go, you think, how can I serve everybody? So piracy started, and actually I've got some, I'm not sure what tape that is, it's just got initials on it, but there's a few of the pirate ones, actual pirate ones up there, which would not have been up there, by the way, they would have been under the counter. And then some, classic Indian films. This is my mum's favourite film, Doorposti. It's like black and white comedy, really hilarious Punjabi film. So I created this really as a tribute to my late father. These are some of the original objects and items,
And the exhibition's been on for how long now?
it's been on since 28th of July. It's one of the official commissions for the Commonwealth Games. It's in the mailbox, and we're here until Saturday.
Right.
And it's been an absolute joy welcoming in audiences, the Asian community, different types of people who've been coming in and learning about how we used to live, who are also seeing a part of themselves within this exhibition as well.
And Dawinder, what will happen to this once it's done? Are we looking to take it somewhere else? Because I think it's something that should definitely end up in some, I don't know, not a museum necessarily, but sort of a walk-in experience as we've had here. So what's the future for the exhibition?
There is a future, correct?
Oh, okay.
There is a future, and the future is going to be with everyone coming together to help me to support, to take this on to the next stage. It's been great to be here, and it's been great to celebrate and put the South Asian story at the centre stage of the Commonwealth Games. What's going to be next is I'd like this to carry on. I'd like this to expand and get bigger and involve more people's stories within it. So people can find out about this exhibition and what I'm going to be doing next at my website, which is dawinderbansal.com, and they can also register online. It's free tickets, but they need to register for it to see this exhibition until Saturday.
Right, so that's this Saturday. 10th of September.
That will be the final date, and then we will turn off the lights and we will pack it all down, and it will go into storage for now. So this is goodbye. Well, it's bye, but not goodbye. It's
hibernation. Until we wake again.
Yeah, exactly. But really, projects like this can only work if there's a demand for them. So people need to contact me and let me know where they are in the country as well, and say, can you bring it to us? Just get in touch with me and let me know your thoughts.
Putting stickers on films.
Okay, so at some point in the 80s, it was illegal to, well, the what are they called, certifications came in, film certifications.
Age restrictions as well.
And we managed to get some of these stickers, as you do as an agent. If there's a will, there's a way. And so we managed to find some stickers from somewhere that actually I used to put them on. I used to look at the faces of people and think, oh, how nice does his face look, or how friendly, and then I would just rate him on that.
As in actors, you mean?
Yeah,
oh right,
yeah.
okay, and that's how you certified what would be an 18 and what would be a 50.
Well, if they had a nice friendly face, if they were smiling, then they got like a PG. So anyway, this one's coming off, and this one never made it. So.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you, Dawinder. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you
for letting us sit on the sofa. Thank you for bringing us into your home. Thank you for the teacups. And as we say, Sat Sri Akal ji.
Sat Sri Akal ji. And remember, dawinderbansal.com. People need to follow me there.
Anywhere else? Any Instagram handles?
Instagram, it's the same name. Dawinder Bansal on Instagram, Twitter, all the socials.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ding.
Come again. So in the early days of this project, no one believed in it, but I did. And when I pitched it to loads of galleries and places like that, they all just said to me, well, what is this? It's just heritage and a bunch of stuff. And I knew there was a story here and I believed in it. So I started buying everything myself. So up until this point, largely, this exhibition's been self-funded.